This fish farm was put into place by MHSS, CERMAC, Housing Band Council, so working together, unbeknownst to the Housing Seitcham, the people have decided to sign a protocol agreement and work together to put this fish farm here at the Yaksui site. This was without permission of the people. There was no transparency. There was no community meetings, you know, saying what are the community's wants and needs in terms of fish farms in our territories and waters. A lot of the Howsett First Nations members do not want this fish farm. We have a lot of supporters from all across Canada and indeed the world who are supporting us in stopping this fish farm, and also to hopefully shed a new light on the way that the people are treated in terms of band council and the actual people in the community. A lot of people see that chiefs who sign papers as meaning the whole community agrees, when there was no consensus, there was no informed consent, and we need to change the way that the general public perceives these relationships, because when they see that, you know, oh well, they signed off on it so they're in agreement, well, the reality is there was no community meetings, there was no space or time for us to come up to speed on what fish farms do, there was no consultation, we didn't have anybody come in and explain these things to us, so we're even unable to make an informed decision at this point. So we're hoping to put a hold on any new fish farms in Clayoquot Sound, because we need our people to be brought up to speed. We need to have community meetings. We need to have people like Alexandra Morton who have offered to come in and give workshops so that we can fully understand the impacts and make an informed decision. There was no information given out. Everybody is pro CERMAC. Everybody is pro this fish farm, and you know, any opposition is immediately seen as a threat, or you know, as if we were out here with guns or an intent to be harmful. But you know, we're saying respectfully, inform your people before you make a choice, before you sign documents, before you go out there and, you know, put this in here. I mean, already it's ugly. This is a beautiful place, and you have these big steel pens out here, and then you think about when I don't even think they're completed, then they're going to put, you know, millions of fish in here. They carry sea lice. Their fish food has antibiotics in it. There is rockfish breeding grounds just over here. This is a salmon highway. There's herring runs out here. There's clam beds over there. There's, you know, all kinds of aquatic life that will be harmed, and this is a pristine place, and we would like to keep it that way. So basically, we have grave concerns. We want to make informed decisions that include all of the Howsett membership, not just a few key people, and we don't want to be seen as people who are causing trouble, more as people who are protecting what is right, protecting our inherent Indigenous rights and titles to this land, protecting our right to protect and stand up for our people, for our future generations. There is always, they say, the protesters. Well, we're not protesters. We're a Howsett Seitcham. We are people who live off of this ocean. We eat out of here daily. We smoke this fish. We eat those clams. So they just went and gathered oysters this morning. And it's devastating to think that none of this was taken into consideration. We're an impoverished community, and we rely on this ocean as our refrigerator. And to pollute it is heinous. It's really taking food out of the mouths of our children, taking the food out of the mouths of our elders, and we rely heavily each winter on all of the salmon that come through here for our smoked fish to get through our winters. It costs $20 a person to go and get food and bring it back in. So when you're in a community that has a, you know, an 80% unemployment rate and a high amount of people on social services, you're taking $40 out of their food check to go to Tofino to pay 18% higher prices than they do in Port Alberni even. And you know, so your food budget is $200, you're now down to $160, and that does not buy a lot of food in Tofino. So this is really, really harmful. This is going to devastate our people and our way of life, and we want our children children to see and hear that, you know, we can come to an agreement on this. We are very firm in our belief that, you know, the Ahousaht Council and that the Hatwiya just need to hear us in a respectful manner without any kind of confrontation from their part, and just to have open ears, have an open heart, listen to your people. You're here, you're representing us. You're not representing corporations, you're not representing financial, you know, economic stability, because to be honest, with this money, where is this going? Is this fixing the houses in Ahousaht? Is this ensuring that children have healthy meals every day? Is this ensuring that, you know, our people are taken care of? And somehow, I don't think that was taken into consideration when the protocol was signed. We want to see who signed the protocol. We want to see what the protocol says. We want to know where the money is earmarked for. And we want to know in the future, if they're going to make decisions on behalf of the whole of the Ahousaht Nation, numbering in over 2,000 people, are we going to be heard before they make choices on behalf of us?
My question for you is that not generally public information when this sort of decision is made by the council on behalf of the people?
There is a lot of behind closed doors meetings that happen that community members are not, I guess, in camera, as you would say. We're not informed. We don't hear any outcome. There's no paperwork that comes around saying this was the meeting, here are the minutes, and you know, there's no updates or follow through. There's no transparency. So you know, as much as people would like to say we are transparent, as much as people would like to say, you know, there were meetings, but to my knowledge, and from being a community member living in Ahousaht and actively opposing fish farms and interested in preserving the pristine nature of our home here and our waters, I haven't heard of any meetings. There were people who are out there and they say, yes, there were meetings, people need to attend, but sometimes meetings happen, you know, at times where nobody is in the village, and that's known. Sometimes they're just had, and you know, there's no follow-up, no follow-through. So, you know, it's not public knowledge, and sometimes we find out, you know, just through the grapevine that things are happening, and it's kind of like, oh, and it's already been signed, or oh, we're already doing that. So, you know, it is people feel left out, and nobody should feel left out in their own nation. Nobody should feel like, you know, their children to have choices made for by their parents. The Hatwiya, our chiefs, are there to protect us, to provide for us, to help us ensure we have a healthy community, that our needs are met as the people. And right now we have people living without hydro. We have people living without hot water. We have 2 to 5 families crammed into homes with mold, with rats. And, you know, these are more important concerns that, to me, that the Hatwiya and Band Council should be taking care of before we even think of anything about fish farms or, you know, logging or mining. These are the more important things, is our futures, our children. And if, you know, if our children are hungry, they're not learning right, and it's not right. You know, the roles and responsibilities of Band Council is to be an advocate for the people, to be an advocate for us, to inform us, and to listen. Because that's what leadership does. They listen to the people, and then they take that decision, and then they go with that, even if it goes against what they personally believe. And there is enough opposed to the fish farms in Ahousaht that it's a contention, it's a bone of contention that it shouldn't have gotten to this point. We shouldn't be here right now. We should have been informed months ago. We should have had a referendum. We should have had a vote. You know, there should have been community meetings. They have a liaison. Where was the liaison? He didn't come in and give us any information. This all could have been circumvented if transparency was at the forefront of their minds.
Thank you.